What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes here, back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Medicom toys, the Amazing Spider-Man. This is basically a repaint. It's the classic costume version that a lot of people have been looking forward to. It has finally released, and I gotta say, in the package, this thing looks pretty dang good. So let's not waste any time and get straight to that sexy packaging so we can dive right into the figure. Now, when it comes to the packaging, Mafex did their duties and did us a favor by helping to save us a little bit of shelf space. They slimmed up the package and it still looks just as good as ever. It still has pretty much their way of going about the packaging, their entire design, everything. You still got the comic arc right there. It does say Marvel 6-inch, Medicom, Mafex 185, the Amazing Spider-Man, Mafex, Marvel, Medicom toy. We got an image of him right there, some images of him along, well, an image of him along the side. The Amazing Spider-Man, another one on this side. I really do like the spider logos that they have right here. They're also on the top of the box. All the legal stuff on the bottom no one really cares about. And then on the back, despite it being much slimmer, we still get a ton of product shots. So I think they did a really great job with this. I'm very happy about this decision. I hope that they continue to go with this moving forward. Now, I'm fine if they make the boxes a little bit wider for figures that come with a ton of accessories, but of course we'll see. They might just go back to the larger packaging for figures that come with more stuff. Time will tell, but either way, if they stick to this formula, I'm happy with it. Now, straight out of the packaging, here we have our look at the third greatest superhero of all time, the comic book Spider-Man. Now, I gotta say, first off, this thing looks really damn good. I really love the more brighter blue on this figure. I guess it's comic accurate. I don't know. I remember when the first one came out, I thought it was like the greatest Spider-Man ever. The blue didn't really bother me much. I was talking to my boy X-Manny about it, and he was saying that the blue was metallic. I don't even remember. I have that figure put up somewhere. I haven't touched it since I moved months ago, but I just never really had a problem with it. But once they showcased this, a lot of collectors got happy, and some were even saying that this would be their definitive Spider-Man. Now, the colors do look absolutely outstanding on this guy, so I can see why some would say it. I do feel like this brighter blue does complement the reds more and give it more of that, I don't know, comic book Spider-Man feel, but it all depends on art interpretation, who was drawing what particular comic, yada, yada, yada. You guys know how it goes. So for people to say comic accurate, it's kind of weird to constantly throw that around because it's just all based on who was drawing. Some people were saying the OG was McFarlane. Some were saying Bagley. I don't know the difference, and personally, I don't care enough to even research. But this thing looks good, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. So I don't really see the point in going over the fine details way too much because essentially it is the same figure that we got before. It's just a repaint. Now, one thing I do want to talk about, though, is it feels like they really touched up the joints and made them, I don't know, maybe a little bit stronger. The plastic somewhat feels different, or maybe I'm tripping. Like I said, I haven't touched my old one in a minute, but the paintwork on this guy is pretty clean for the most part. A few misses here and there, literally, but I don't know. Overall, I really like it. Spider logos come out pretty clean. Getting some grease on it. I just ate and now I'm reviewing. I probably should have did a double wash on my hands, but either way, this guy looks dope, man. I really am feeling these colors a whole lot. This light blue is definitely growing on me, but overall, again, it's the same thing. The web lines, it does look like they painted them in. Again, there are a few misses just like on the OG release. Some places are a little more faded than others, but not too much that isn't clean. The main thing that is different for me is just how sturdy this guy feels. It doesn't feel like it's going to flop around like the other one kind of would. And that's not to say the joints on the old one were bad, but it just doesn't feel as good as this one. It really feels like they've upped their plastic quality. Now, how they can do that by reproducing an old mold, I'm not the guy to ask that question, but I do like this a lot, man. I feel like this looks really dang good, man. And I can see people saying this could be their go-to Spider-Man. I dig it a lot. Now, when it comes to the height on this guy, to the top of his head, he is right at about 6 inches, and that's to be expected because it's just a repaint, so there's no need to expect it to be any taller than the OG. This is fine though. It's Mafex sticking to their 6-inch, and that's what we love him for, right? No, articulation wise, he looks up about that much, which is really good. The head is actually on that curved double ball peg, so that is going to help with those looking up poses. He looks down about that much. Chin can almost touch the chest. Head and neck work together to move around in unison very, very well. Arms go up and out about that much, so much higher than a T-pose, which is really good. You guys already know, man, butterfly joints work very well, so web swinging poses will not be a problem at all. He does have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that are very effective. Hands are on a very, very sturdy feeling hinge, and they move around very, very well. No issues with that. At the diaphragm, he leans back about that much. Forward, not so much, but you do get a ton of movement in there. You do get a little bit of swivel as well. If you utilize the waist, you can get him to lean forward even more. Not too much more back, unfortunately, but we already have seen this before. Now, when it comes to the legs, they are dropped down, so he can kick out pretty much completely. Like, he can kick an enemy in the face if you want him to, and he can also do the splits completely. He does have a thigh swivel, double jointed knees that are very effective. Foot goes down a little more than I was trying to make it, but let's see. Goes down about that much, up about that much. He does get ankle rocker, and he does have toe hinge. So you guys already know, I don't call them the Mafex gods for nothing. Now, when it comes to the accessories, as long as you're not expecting anything that you haven't already seen, you should be okay. In terms of head sculpts, he only comes with two. It is the wide open eyes and then the more narrowed eyes. He doesn't come with the Peter Parker head, unfortunately, but I don't know why anyone would expect that. That wouldn't entice people to go back and buy the OG, so they got to make their money off of that one also. He comes with a pair of fist hands, a pair of wall crawling hands, a pair of relaxed hands, thwip hands, web holding hands, a pair of magnetized wall crawling hands, and a pair of magnetized feet. Now, when it comes to the webs, he does come with 6. He comes with one long web with the end of it kind of split out like it's holding on to something or latching onto something, wrapping up around a bad guy. I don't know, whatever. He comes with one that he can hold in a hand for web swinging poses, 2 long just web shooters, and then 2 small web shooters. So a ton of web accessories. Mine came in the package a little warped. That's kind of whacked. It seems like they just threw these in there, but it's fine. I have a million of these. These are just going to go back in the package. I'm not using them, so I'm cool with it. Before I move to the size comparisons, one random thing that came to mind I wanted to show you guys was that if you ended up getting one of these PS4 Spider-Man heads off of eBay or whoever the OG seller was, I'm not entirely sure, but if you ever ended up getting one of these, this head sculpt does not look bad on this body at all. I think this looks really dang good. So yeah, man, this PS4 Spider-Man head, it's sick also. So if you can get your hands on one of these, I highly, highly recommend it. I do feel like the red on this matches much more than the OG body. So yeah. Now, moving on to size comparisons, here he is. First off, standing with the Marvel Legends Renew Your Vows 2-pack Spider-Man, the Mafex Symbiote Spider-Man, and the Marvel Legends Game Reverse PS4/PS5 Miles Morales. And taking a look at these Spider-Man side by side, I want to know what you guys think. Do you like the darker blue that the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man has, or do you guys prefer the lighter blue? Personally, with this figure, I really am liking this lighter blue more than the darker, but I think it also depends on, I don't know, I guess the style of the costume. I can't say. You guys tell me, though. So all of my Mafex stuff is put up in boxes, so you guys won't be receiving any Mafex size comparisons, which, I mean, if you go check out my old review, you guys will see him stacked up against other characters. If not, I'm sure D Amazing or something will do those size comparisons. But I'll just show him off next to a bunch of Marvel Legends Spider-Man villains. First off, we have him standing next to the Marvel Legends Hammerhead, which I think is a dope yet very slept on figure. Unfortunately, I can't get him to stand up straight, so he's kind of leaning a bit. You guys know those Hasbro legs tend to warp for whatever freaking reason. We also have him standing next to Shocker, which is actually one of my favorite Marvel Legends, to be honest. I don't know why, but I love it. And then last, we have him standing next to the Marvel Legends Carnage from who knows what wave. I don't know, but I think he scales well enough with all of these except Carnage. I think Cletus Cassidy is going to have to be a little bit smaller, but if you have them in a display together, they will look fine. Next up for some more villains, here he is standing next to the Marvel Legends single-carded Doc Ock, the Marvel Legends Retro Hobgoblin, which is a terrible figure, but I missed out on the Build-A-Figure, so what can I do? And last but not least, the Marvel Legends Vulture, which I just realized does not have any lower ankle swivel. What is the reason for that? Wow, I can't believe I'm just now noticing that. But yeah, these all look good together. I think the colors really do complement each other. Now, last but not least, here he is standing next to the best superhero of all time, my boy Batman. We have him standing next to the second best superhero of all time, Superman. Both of these are done by Mafex. And last but not least, we have him standing next to an SH Figuarts Spy Family Greatness, Lloyd Forger. Now, when it comes to my final thoughts on this figure, I gotta say, it's definitely worth picking up if you're interested in it. But if you do have the OG release and you're happy about that one, you don't necessarily need to pick this one up. I mean, honestly, it's just all about which colors you prefer. If you prefer the colors on this more, then yeah, I'd say he's worth picking up. Otherwise, you can skip on this and you're not going to be missing out on much. He doesn't come with any extra accessories that really would have made people want to pick it up. And there's nothing really different about it. The plastic feels a bit sturdier, but that's about it. And so I don't really deem that being worth paying that extra $60. I got it just to review, but I do like it enough to where I'll keep it. Now, that being said, I did also pick up this guy, which is the Walmart exclusive Spider-Man the Animated Series figure. I was lucky to find this, and I see that the colors on these do resemble each other closely. This guy right here is a tad bit darker, but I think this look is more what this figure is based on. Again, it's all about artist and interpretation. It's just a guess on my part. But either way, I do like the figure. So I'd say if you want it, then pick it up. But I do personally think that this release was just done to fund other figures. What I call it is a figure, or a filler figure. That's what I think it was. Just something to fund another figure. Yes, filler figure. I'm going to quote that. I'm going to put that as a hashtag somewhere. But yeah, it's nice. It's $60, I think, is what I paid for it. I believe he's still available. I don't think this one ever sold out. So if you're planning on getting your hands on it, hopefully you don't have a problem. But I wouldn't waste too much time because Mafex figures do tend to sell out. And once they sell out, they are hard to get. The pre-order windows are usually pretty long. So if you're ever planning on picking up some of these, don't wait, man. Just pre-order it. Most places you don't have to pay up front. So yeah, but anyway, that's my review. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.